If you're looking after an aging parent or loved one, you know their health can feel like a constant balancing act. Well, today, we're going to focus on one of the most critical parts of that act, something that's often hiding in plain sight: how to prevent dangerous drug interactions. Let's dive right in.
You've heard this a million times, right? But it is especially true when we're talking about medications for an older adult. That handful of pills they take every day, it could be a perfectly tuned cocktail keeping them healthy. Or it could be a hidden minefield of dangerous interactions just waiting to happen.
And this isn't some rare thing we're talking about. Just think about this for a second. 36%, that is more than a third of all seniors, are taking 5 or more prescription drugs every single day. Now, when you have that many medications in the mix, the chances of a dangerous interaction, they just start to climb, and fast.
So it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? That collection of bottles in the medicine cabinet? You've got prescriptions from different doctors, maybe some over-the-counter stuff, daily vitamins. Is it all working together for their health, or could it be hiding a really serious risk? Let's figure out how to make sure it's the first one.
So why is this such a huge deal for older adults in particular? Let's unpack the key reasons that put them at a much higher risk for these kinds of harmful interactions.
And this is where it all becomes crystal clear. Look at these numbers. A whopping 87% of seniors take at least one prescription drug. We already know that 36% are taking 5 or more. But then, you add in the 38% who are also using over-the-counter stuff. Suddenly you can see how the number of things they're taking just explodes. And a lot of the time, no single doctor has the full picture.
Okay, so we know it's a common problem. But what are the actual consequences? I mean, what does a drug interaction really do to someone's health?
Well, the risks really fall into 3 main buckets. First, you could see totally unexpected side effects, things like dizziness or confusion. Second, the interaction could actually make a medicine less effective or stop it from working altogether. And in the most serious cases, these interactions can cause real significant harm and can even be fatal.
Now, let's zoom in on one specific risk. It has a fancy name: therapeutic duplication. I know it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually really simple. It's just what happens when someone takes 2 different medicines that, surprise, have the same active ingredient. It's an easy way to accidentally take way too much of something.
And here is a perfect real-world example of how easily this can happen. So a doctor prescribes Norco for pain, right? That has acetaminophen in it. But then later, your loved one gets a headache and reaches for some Tylenol, not realizing that it's the exact same active ingredient. And just like that, they're doubling up and they could be pushing their liver way past its safe daily limit.
Okay, I know this all sounds a little overwhelming, maybe even scary, but here's the really good news. You do not have to be a pharmacist to get a handle on this. There's an incredibly powerful and totally free tool you can use to bring all these hidden risks right out into the open.
The tool we're going to walk through is the Drug Interaction Checker over at drugs.com. We recommend it because it's reliable, it's thorough, and honestly, it's super easy to use. Seriously, think of this as your secret weapon for medication safety.
So why this tool? Well, first off, it's free. It checks everything. We're talking prescriptions, over-the-counter meds, even vitamins and supplements. It also knows about interactions with common foods, like grapefruit, which is a big one. And crucially, it'll flag that therapeutic duplication we just talked about. Best of all, it ranks any interactions from minor to serious, so you immediately know what to focus on.
So how does this thing actually work? Let's just walk through it, step by step. You're going to see just how easy it is to get a really clear, complete picture of everything your loved one is taking.
The whole process is so straightforward. First, you just go to the website and find the tool. Then you start building your list. You enter every single thing they take one by one. If you have a longer list, you might need to create a free account, but trust me, it's worth it. And that's it. Then you just review the report that the checker spits out for you. All right, so you've used the tool, you've got your report. What's next? Well, this part is arguably the most important step in this whole process. How to use this new information to have a really productive, informed conversation with a doctor.
And here it is, the golden rule. I can't say this loudly enough. Never, ever stop, start, or change any medications on your own. This tool is an amazing guide, but it is not a substitute for a doctor's advice.
You've got to remember, the whole point of this checker is to inform you so you can ask better questions. The goal isn't to diagnose a problem yourself. It's to gather what you need to be a great partner with their doctor to ensure the safest care possible.
So you've got this report in your hands. How do you actually bring this up with the doctor in a way that gets you the answers you need and makes sure you're heard?
Okay, here are 4 simple things that will make that conversation go so much better. 1. Print out the report and bring it with you. 2. Ask the doctor to review the entire list. This is so important if they're seeing multiple specialists. 3. Don't be shy. Point to the specific interactions the report flagged and ask about them directly. And finally, ask about timing, like if certain pills need to be taken hours apart from each other or even from certain foods.
And one last really critical tip, you have to be extra vigilant during a hospital stay. That's a time when new drugs are thrown into the mix really fast, and in a chaotic environment, mistakes can and do happen. Use the checker to double-check everything. You could prevent a serious error when your loved one is at their most vulnerable.
When you get right down to it, taking these steps is just a profound act of love and care. It transforms you from someone who's just worried on the sidelines into your loved one's most powerful and well-informed health advocate.
So I really encourage you, gather up all those bottles, go to the website, build your list, and start that conversation. This one proactive step is truly one of the most powerful things you can do to protect their health. And make sure their treatments are working for them, not against them, and it will give both of you a peace of mind that is absolutely priceless.